Welcome to my Wildlife in Water-Rich Environments presentation. Hey, what's this? It's our planet. As far as we know, our planet is the only water-rich planet in the whole universe. Did you know 2/3 of our planet is water? And there are 8.7 million species living on this planet. But most of it live in water-rich environments. Now, to begin with, we'll talk about the oceans. There are 4 major oceans in our planet: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian and Arctic, to name them all. 97% of the water in our planet is in the oceans. The remaining 3% is fresh. There are 230,000 species that live in these salty waters. Out of this, there are 21,000 fish species. Here are some fantastic fish facts. Did you know fish come in different shapes, sizes and colours? Almost all fish have scales and fins. Some fish live in shoals to save themselves from predators. Some fish even glow in the dark, very useful to light their way. Fish usually breathe through their gills, which are small holes on the sides of their heads. There are giants as well as dwarfs in the sea. Some live in shallow waters, some live in deep, some live on the seabed, and some deep water fish can prefer darkness because they have their own light, like the anglerfish shown in Finding Nemo. Some fish camouflage themselves, also very useful. Here are some giant fish facts. Did you know that tiger sharks normally have around 40 pups at a time? Basking sharks can sift through 1,000 tons of water an hour to catch their prey. Great white sharks are the most deadly of all. They prey on most living sea creatures. Did you also know that the thresher shark's tail is their weapon? They swing it to knock other fish unconscious and eat them. Also, did you know that some of the biggest whales eat the smallest prey? For example, the blue whale, the biggest animal on Earth, feeds some tiny plankton. Did you know that killer whales play with their prey before eating? We don't do that. It would be quite rude. Dolphins and whales sing to communicate. And also, narwhal whales use their 3-meter-long tusk to fight for females. Let's talk about other sea creatures. Seals, walruses and sea lions are called pinnipeds, meaning fin feet. They have bodies full of fat to keep them warm in cold waters. Sea otters anchor themselves to kelp, a type of seaweed, while they sleep. Otherwise they'll float away, wouldn't they? Leopard seals chirp and whistle while they sleep. How weird is that? Walruses use their tusks to pull themselves out of the water, to break breathing holes in ice, and even to use it as a weapon. Sea snakes are more venomous than snakes on land. Wouldn't like to meet one of those. Jellyfish have been living on Earth for more than 650 million years, outdating dinosaurs and sharks. Did you know box jellyfish kills more people than any other marine creature each year? I wouldn't like to meet one of those, I'll tell you that. I think we've talked a lot about oceans. Why don't we talk about water on land? First, let's talk about rock pools. They're teeming with wildlife. There are shells and small fish. Crabs, lobsters, starfish, sponges, anemones, limpets, sea urchins, clams, oysters, whelks and mussels are a few of the animals living in rock pools. Rock pools also get washed off by the tide every single night. What about ponds? These are small, still water pools. Some creatures live at the bottom, some glide on the surface, and some swim in it, and some live above. Nymphs live at the bottom. Pond skaters walk on the water, making use of the surface tension. and small fish varieties live in ponds. Birds, lizards and snakes prey on these pond creatures. Wouldn't like to be eaten by one of them. Do you think we should talk about rivers? I think so. Did you know, depending on different climates which river is in, there should be different wildlife in it. Water rats make homes in the riverbank. Beavers make dams, out of wood of course. Trout live in the shallowest parts of the river and lay eggs on the riverbank. Leeches cling onto rocks. Make sure it doesn't cling onto you. Bats swoop down at the river at night and catch small insects. Crayfish that live in fast-flowing rivers eat tiny fish and worms. All that talk about oceans is making me seasick. Why don't we talk about rainforests instead? Rainforests are hot, sticky places that grow in warm countries. 3/4 of the animals in the world live there. Its trees are very close together, making the vegetation very thick. It takes roughly around 10 minutes for a raindrop to fall to the ground because of the canopy made by leaves. Some of the main rainforests in the world are the Amazon, Central Africa and Southern Asia. The Amazon is 12 times the size of France. Can you believe that? Imagine if it got lost there. It's also known as the lungs of the world, of course, because it makes air for the world. In the treetops, the branches meet, making a roof called the canopy. That's what was mentioned before. Shall we talk about birds and insects in rainforests? Hey, scarlet macaws have hooked beaks to crack open nuts. And quite unbelievably, they can tell each other apart by the patterns on their feathers. Toucans have long pointed beaks to pick fruit and steal other birds' eggs. I didn't know toucans were thieves. Leafcutter ants eat fungi that grow on the leaves they pick. A morpho, a type of butterfly, has bright coloured wings to attract a mate. What about reptiles in rainforests? The geckos are camouflage hiding from hungry snakes, like the one shown in the picture. Tree snakes, again shown in the picture, live near water. They eat frogs and lizards. Yuck. Tree frogs are tiny and very colourful. They live on branches, probably in the canopy. They also have suction pads on their toes to grip twigs and leaves. Now let's talk about other rainforest creatures. The loris comes out at night to search for food using its huge eyes. It looks like it's staring at you, doesn't it? The three-toed sloths have hook-like claws that can cling onto branches. Very useful. The jaguar's coat helps it to hide in the dapple forest light. The gibbon's long arms and tail help him to swing from tree to tree high up in the canopy. What about polar lands? The polar lands of our world are near the North and South poles. Polar caps are so icy and cold, one would think that there would be no wildlife. Sadly. However, there are. Yeah, but we need to talk about animals on polar lands. All polar bears are left-handed. Can you believe that? No right-handed polar bears at all. All of them have thick white coats to camouflage themselves in the snow. Very useful. They are the only mammals that live on the Arctic ice. Can you believe that? Arctic fox's coat turns white in the winter to camouflage in the snow. There are lots of types of penguin, like emperor penguin, king penguin, and lots more. Thank you for watching my Wildlife in Water-Rich Environments presentation. I did this for my Year 5 Creative Curriculum Spring Term Project.